10 seconds.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the View from the Dead Box. We are straight back from the MVPS. Not really a long weekend, a long day. Not for you. You probably
Not for me.
sat around, didn't do anything,
I was in Jacksonville.
eating peanuts.
I wish. No, I actually went top golf Saturday.
Did you? How was
It was
that?
nice. It was fun. I hadn't done it in a while. I've actually never technically done top golf. I always do the other one that's down there in Florida, the Drive Shack or whatever it's called.
Oh, I've never been to that one. I've been in Topgolf a couple times.
Yeah, I've only ever done that specific one right there by where the MVPS is.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, what? So you guys took fourth, right?
Yep. Well, yeah, we got given fourth. They shit on us for fourth.
You know, I'm looking. Who'd y'all lose to? Blackout?
No, we beat Blackout in the dirt.
Okay.
The scores are fucked up. We have two more matches you can't see on there.
That's what I was just getting ready to ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
We lost to I want to say Notorious. That's who we played last.
Okay.
So we had a couple. Obviously, we had Nitro and Bayside. We drew in the bracket.
Yeah.
We lost to Nitro like 4-1.
Your wife actually just sent some notes.
Yeah. Now playing them. I was worried only for the fact that four of our guys have never played a layout one time. So I knew that the first couple of matches were going to be shaky.
Yeah.
And they were. Right. Only four of us have played the layout, and playing with the VM line, you're playing with people who have never ever played together.
Yeah.
Typically, right. Now, granted, some of us have definitely played together.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. It's better than normal. But like Chris and Curtis and Craig, they've never even seen this layout. So it's going to take at least 10 to 12 points to figure out what's working.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you're playing against good teams that have been playing the layout for 3 weeks, you're already at a pretty big disadvantage.
Yeah.
But so we lost to them. Then we kind of got it. Played Palm Beach Vipers directly after that. I think we won the first point, then lost the next two right behind it. I think we ended up running out of time.
Yeah, she said it went 3-1 Vipers.
Yeah, 3-1. And that was actually a pretty close match. We only lost 1 point, like flat out. The other match we lost by like a body. So we were kind of like fighting back and forth with them. So I was feeling a lot more confident.
I want to go back to Nitro just for a split second before we get too far. Were those close matches as points as well? Or was it? I mean, because it was 1-4 was the final score. So
yeah, there was 2 points in there that they beat us flat out. I think the other one we beat them pretty good. And then we had one that came down to like a one body situation, and the other one I think was like a 2-on-1. The time was kind of running long, and I knew we were gonna need some time. So I think I buzzed it.
Yeah. That's such a hard decision to make.
Yeah. Well, it's at that point being the first match of the day, I would rather take the extra points than the longer time.
Yeah.
Only for the fact that, again, I'm trying to get my guys to have as much spins on that layout. So when we get deeper, you're really playing for the long game.
Yeah.
So when you get longer in the day, you're hoping that it pans out because you guys have played 20, 25 times in that layout. So you're starting to learn all the shots. So about the third match in, we got our fucking shots on the break 0.
Yeah, good. Fuck yeah.
We were killing the fire like every single time on the break. Like literally we hit them like 3 times in a row on the break. Boom, boom, boom. And that's right there. Like, was a night and day. We played Bayside. We got up on them 2-0, and then they came back 2 points. And I think I'm trying to think what happened. I think they scored 1, we scored 1. It was 3-3 with like a minute and 30 or a minute and 45.
Yeah.
And we were already down 2 matches. So I'm like, well, we got to play for the win. Like, you can't play for the tie because tie's going to get you nothing. So we go out there and it's kind of back and forth. And it's like a 3-on-3 situation. And there's like 30 seconds left. And I told Rangel and them guys earlier, I'm like, these dudes, I'm like, they always play in the gray area. Like every match I've ever seen them play, there's always fucking flags flying. Like every match they've always played.
Yeah.
Like, me and Jamie watched them play last event, and there was fucking major. They just literally shit a whole match away because they got in like their feelings. Well, against I don't know who they were playing, but it happened last event too. Well, anyways, we were going back and forth, and 3-3 got to run us down. Curtis is in the snake corner, and Chris is in the home. Well, they try to run down our snake guy, who was Kyle, I believe. And as Zach comes to get him, or not Zach, sorry, Hunley comes, I think it's Hunley, comes on the inside of the snake on the highway, and Chris hits him like 4 or 5 times. And then Curtis is over the corner. He happens to stand in the ice. He stands up and just fucking beams him. And the guy, whoever it was, I'm not sure if it's Hunley or not, pretty sure it is, keeps coming and dunks fucking Kyle anyways.
Yeah.
So then we're kind of like, they're trying to figure out what's going on. They throw a major and it's like 10 seconds left. Well, then Zach comes for a run through down the wire on the snake, and Curtis comes down the outside, and they get in kind of a fucking fight back and forth. Well, they're like shooting each other. Well, yeah. Curtis is screaming that Zach is covered in hits. He's like, he's fucking hit. And Chris is shooting him, and they're like arguing back and forth in the field. Well, another major goes up.
Yeah.
So time runs out, right? And it's like 4 seconds left. Time runs out. So we're all yelling, swing point, obviously. 2 majors in a row on them. That's it. Swing point. And they're going back and forth. And Zach's like, he's like, you shot first. And we're saying, like, the first major wasn't even on you. The first major was on the first guy.
Yeah.
So, and that was under like 20 seconds. So it didn't really matter. I'm like, the automatic swing point. And they're kind of like going back and forth. And Curtis is like, get off the field. Bye. He's like talking shit to Zach. And they're getting kind of like flared up back and forth. And it's funny to listen to them because they were getting mad. And Dylan was running pods, and thank God he was there. But we're going to have to give him some pod running lessons because he doesn't understand to pick up every single pod you see, steal them all, right? He runs by Zach, and I think he's on Zach's. I know he understands the sides flip.
Yeah.
But Zach was playing the snake, and he's in that side of the snake snatching pods. And Zach's like, hey, boy, put them pods down. They're my pods. And Dylan's like, he doesn't know what to do, right? He's like,
yeah.
Poor Dylan. Like, staring at him. And I said, fuck them. Pick those pods up. Throw them in your bag. I'm like, fuck it. What's going to happen? So he doesn't know what to do.
Poor Dylan.
Yeah, he doesn't, he come off. He had like 4 pods in his hand. I'm like, one point he came off and he had like 6 pods or 4 pods total. I'm like, Dylan, I know we shot more than 4 pods. Oh, yeah. I'm like, we just played an entire point. So we got to like the 3rd or 4th match later on the day, and we only had like 30 pods total. I'm like, we brung like almost 80 pods. I'm like,
Dylan, you gotta start stealing shit, bro.
Yeah, it's like we gotta figure out something here. So swing point, us, and we get that match or whatever, and then trying to think, we could play Dynamic, and they're a pretty good team, and we play them and we beat them pretty good. And there's a lot
from what your wife said.
Yeah, we beat them down pretty good. They had a lot of penalties like towards the end. When they got down on points, they just started like blatantly playing on. Their dude went into the snake, got shot across field, dips his head into the dirt. And this didn't get called, by the way. He gets shot in the side of the fucking head with a gun, dips down, blatantly cheating. He's literally in the snake one, face down in the dirt, gun down in the dirt, and he's moving around really weird, like staring in the fucking dirt. And then we have I think it's Kyle or Daniel. I think it's pretty sure it's Kyle, like in the Viper. And the dude gets up and jumps over the inside of the snake and comes to get him. Once he gets up, Chris fucking beams him. Like you hear, and he keeps coming to get him. And they fucking throw a major for that. And they're like flipping out. I'm like, this is y'all's like 2nd fucking major.
Yeah.
Like, this is blatant. Like this is
that's fucking wild.
No, they're not arguing the calls because they are, like cheating. Are getting called. Then we win that, and then we go 2-2. And I'm thinking that we're gonna go through, and we do. We're number 5 overall, so we go through. We play Blackout, which is a pretty good team, and they won the last event. I'm pretty sure.
I believe you're right. Yep.
Yeah, and they had all the same roster look like, and then we beat them pretty fucking good. think we beat them 3-1, I think. And we actually just burnt the timeout. Like, we could have scored the 4th point. We just had a minute and like 40 seconds, and we just fucking double crossed and just sat there and let them run through all the lanes.
Yeah. That's a safe way to play that when you're up with that score. You know what I mean? In that time. Yeah.
So we just sat there, burnt that clock out, won that game. Those guys are cool. We didn't have no problems out of them. Trying to think what else. And then we played Outcast, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
We played Outcast first.
Okay, she skipped Outcast.
Yeah. And then we think we lost against Outcast. And then, or maybe we played Notorious first. I don't know who we played first. Yeah, I thought we played Notorious last, I'll be honest with you. But either way, we lost to those when we were playing for 3rd and 4th. Yeah. So, and then ultimately we got 4th. Those are the last match, man. We just had a
Courtney said there's a questionable call or something with an apology.
Every fucking point, man. They called me out for a hit on the bottom of my shoe on the break.
Oof.
Going to the corner. I get in and I am standing in a fucking puddle of paint.
Yeah.
Like, there's shit all in my bunker. The guy's like, "You're hitting the foot." And I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, literally, he says the bottom of your cleat. And I'm like, I literally look down. I'm like, dude, I am standing in a fucking puddle of paint. Like, I am standing in like 2 open pods. I don't argue it. I walk off the field. Then the next point, Pang is in the snake. No, Pang's in the ice, and Daniel's in the snake. They ref walks up to Pang, looks at him, does the rub signal, rub, walks off. It is literally on the bunker. You can tell. And then a guy from the opposite side of the field, Dorito 50, runs all the way down, all the way across the back line, runs out right to Pang, throws a minor, pulls Daniel and fucking Pang out. Yeah. Surprise, surprise. They come down the fucking snake side. They don't have they take the whole snake side off. Yeah. Shoot us in the fucking side. We lose. I'm like, God damn, dude. Now we're down 2 fucking points. It's some bullshit. So then we fight back. Then we get a point, and it's like 2-1. Then there's a guy in the snake, and they push Snake kind of early. He goes to hop over or get into like our side of the 2. We shoot him, plain as day, hit him. He shoots me. I'm literally pointing at the guy. I'm like, this dude's fucking hit. It's a major. So I'm walking by. The ref's like checking him out. Finally, the ref walks around the back side of the snake, sees him, and goes, "Oh my God," throws a minor. I'm like, whoa, it's a major. The dude fucking shot me. It's a major. Well, what made me mad is he threw the minor, and then there's a guy in the Seattle. Instead of running to the guy in the Seattle or like yelling at the guy in the Seattle, he literally throws the minor and then walks over to the guy in the Seattle. The guy in Seattle raps, gets in the gunfight with Curtis, shoots Curtis. Then they pull the guy out of Seattle. I'm like, that minor you just gave us did absolutely fucking nothing. And then obviously Curtis is fucking pissed because he's like, I'm here battling the snake guy who's been dead the whole fucking time. He's like, he's been dead before he crossed the snake too. And like, they're yelling back and forth. I'm like, all right, listen, nothing you can do about it. Like, you know what I mean? And the worst thing is the refs kept coming into our fucking pit and apologizing for the fucking calls. They kept coming in. Well, one ref came in because the head ref was that when that minor they called on Pang, that ref walked up. The head ref walked up to the other ref. Was like, "What'd you see?" He's like, "Oh yeah, hit under his armpit." He's like, "Where at?" He's like, "On my side." He's like, and I'm like, "That's bull." I literally said that. No, that's bullshit. And I said, "That's he didn't see anything." So he literally walks in our pit and goes, "Player, pick your arms up." Pang puts his arms up in the air. There's not a fucking drop of paint anywhere fucking on him. And the ref goes, "That's what I thought." Puts him down. He goes, He said, "Man, I apologize." He's like, "That was a bad call." So of course our guys are like, "What the fuck's an apology do?" Like he just costs the point. Like apology does nothing. And so he does, he apologizes or whatever. And that's why you keep seeing all of us on Facebook talk about like, I'm sorry. We're like, I
assumed it was something like that.
So he comes off, they shoot or whatever, and then we're all like bitching. Obviously, we're bitching, we're mad, and then we ended up losing that match because I think it was like 2 minutes left, and we're down by like 2 or some shit. Not much you can do when you're down by a fucking thing. You're down on points and down on time. Like, it's shit. It is what it is. So I can't stand that.
That part really sucks.
3 back-to-back calls all in the same fucking match. I'm like, come on, dude.
Especially a ref admitting it. You know what I mean? And it happens. Bad calls happen. We've said it a million fucking times. But it's like, so fucking shitty.
I got called out earlier for a circle of paint on my knee in this Dorito corner. As I get there, I am literally.
So you're talking about that can in the Dorito corner?
Yes.
Okay.
I am fucking kneeling in paint.
Yeah.
And I come up, and the dude's like, "Player out." I'm like, "Where?" I haven't got a shot at yet. He's like, "Your leg," and I'm like, "What?" Look down. Listen, there is a circle of paint on my leg. It is a small circle. Literally, when the rule book says it's a quarter amount of paint, it is a quarter size of paint.
Yeah.
No shell, nothing else. It is a quarter. You can tell like I kneeled on paint. That's how it looks. And I'm like, I walk off. I said, "This is what you're calling for?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right." I said, I'm walking right to him. I'm like, "You need to rake the bunker out. You need to take the bunker and rake the fucking paint out. There's paint all in that goddamn thing. Like you have to rake this shit out, dude. Like you're fucking me here." I'm like, "God damn." So
how was the rest of the reffing by chance? Like, was it just that little bit, or like all in all good, but a few bad calls?
Yeah, I didn't see anything wild. Matt says they had refs trying to like say they didn't have enough bodies on the field. So then Brandon Blue was filming for him. So then they had to go get Brandon Blue's camera and fucking reverse the footage and go back and track the bodies on the fucking camera. He's like, "No, I had bodies right here." He's like, "What do you mean?" And so it was just fucking stupid.
Yeah, that sucks. But
yeah.
So the kids and your wife, they took 6, 7?
I think
somewhere around in there.
I couldn't see a bunch because we're playing at the same time. But I was trying to run back and forth and watch as much as I could.
Did you see like anything that like stood out to you from them?
Yeah, Baxter playing like dog shit for sure.
Poor Baxter.
He's definitely missed some time.
Yeah,
he shoots Matt in the back or in the leg or something like that. He's in the ice, shoots fucking Matt in the back. I'm like, oh god. I'm like, we have got to get this under control. I think Steven gets a penalty early. They get the decent, like him and Arthur get pulled for it. They were just a little bit shaky, honestly.
It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, they didn't have like you or me or anyone there.
Yeah. Well, they also didn't have Hayden or Ryan. They didn't have their normal 5-man team. So, Baxter hasn't played in like a couple months. This last couple of weeks is his first time back. So it's hard to throw somebody in who hasn't played in a while,
That's true.
Too. And they play with Jonathan Davis, came and showed to help him out. He played with them. So they had a lot of new faces that haven't played in a while out there to get done,
I mean, 7th is kind of respectable in a way. You know what I mean? Like, they made it out of prelims.
Yeah. We expected a little bit better.
Honestly. Oh, yeah. I mean, I always expect to make it out of prelims. And I normally, at a minimum, go one round past prelims. You know what I mean? Whether that's
one round.
Whatever it is, whatever league we play in, all of our teams should at minimum do that. Anything else?
I get this shit on fucking Bayside because Hunley's like always running his mouth, like talking shit, and it's all in good fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like, I get like, they didn't win a match all day. So,
so you get that.
Yeah, I get that kind of fucking shit on them.
Oh, that'll be fun. Hey, I don't know if any of them listen to this.
I'm like, you guys got beat to by a team that had 4 dudes never even played the layout, who don't even play together, who just jumped on a line and came and played. And I'm like, so I get to kind of fucking talk some shit to them.
Speaking of Basin, I think Zach won the 1-on-1. I believe.
And that was really weird because Jamie didn't play it because it was like, well, they got their shit pushed in, so they can play the fucking thing. It's easier for them to play the 1-on-1s. You don't have to worry about moving past.
I wish you guys could see Wes's little smirk when he says that too. So.
I mean, hey, listen, it's honest. It's easy to. You don't have to worry about moving on. You just go have fun. The problem was that it was starting towards the end of the prelims.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of shit for us.
I picked up watching y'all. I think I watched y'all's last match when we were at Topgolf. And I was like trying to watch, and then I saw them switch over to the 1-on-1s, I believe. So, and it was like, it kept lagging out. Like, I either had real bad service or the stream itself.
Stream was pretty shitty this weekend.
Yeah.
Had a problem. We had a terrible monsoon for like 40 minutes, and then it went away, and it was fine weather.
Yeah. So, that's what it looked like, too. Because I noticed, like I said, I turned on for a little bit in the morning, too. And I was like, oh, it's nice. Looks good. And then in the afternoon, I was like, it's fucking soaked. Like, I don't know what the fuck I missed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so your wife and they played the Templar Knights first. Looks like they beat them Obvious. Am I looking at this right? Let me look here.
They
a loss, a win, a win.
Yeah, they went 3-1.
Yeah,
they went 3-1. Because they had to play all of their third round matches, which is kind of fucking shit. They had to play all of those, and then I think a bad penalty happened in
the dynamic game. No, that's when the time expired. Nitro was the bad penalty. I'm sorry.
No, they beat Nitro. Unless they played Nitro again. They beat Nitro.
They only played them once. A win, a loss, and a win.
Okay. Well, whoever they played in the quarters or whatever, the Ochos or quarters.
That was Palm Beach.
Okay, yeah. They had a bad penalty there, and that got like the whole entire Drew side pulled.
Okay.
I think it might have been Jonathan. Somebody got hit in the tank on the break. I don't think it's seen it or something like that. And then they got a bad penalty. And it fucking got the whole side ripped up. So then they left like just the snake side, like a 2-on-4, 2-on-5, which is never a fucking good thing.
No. We should have had Stro hop in since they took second for D4X.
Yeah, for sure.
But all in all, a good event. Sounds like I mean, all things considered, little reffing issues, but nothing like crazy bad. Just small things here and there.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of bad things. It was pretty chill.
That's good. How was the paint?
It's same thing. It shot well. It's just a little bit tough. And as soon as you take it out of the box, man, I swear to God, it's GI. It just turns into rubber.
Yeah, I think so too. And plus, it's so fucking humid down there in Florida. You know what I mean? That doesn't do it any favors. But I think you're right. I think it is a GI thing. Like, I feel like it happens with that paint more. Because, like, we play here in Georgia, and we're humid as shit too. And our paint doesn't stick like that quick.
No,
you know what I mean?
We had paint getting stuck in the hoppers, and we were dumping it out and then keeping it in the cooler. And we actually brung the pod cooler for the 5-man. We were splitting between us and the X ball, and it was still shit. I'm like, God, man, it's like you could literally have it out in the air for 5 minutes, turns to rubber. I'm like, fuck, like squishing. I'm like, well, this is all fucking wasted. I'm like.
I remember that last one I made
y'all right now. Who says?
Shit. Yeah, see if you can get it here. I can send him a link.
Send him a link real quick.
Okay. Make sure he knows we're live when it comes up.
His.
Look at that. We've never added a guest. If we're gonna add a guest.
Hey, you should just send him the link, right? And
yeah. No, I mean, if he actually joins in.
I just told him we're sending the link.
Let's see. But
we didn't have any problems with the paint. Wasn't fragile enough to be breaking anywhere, so it's not that big of an issue.
Okay, I'm trying to think if there was anything else that happens at events. How'd the Titans do? They were there, right?
I think they got kind of beat up a little bit early in the 5-man, but now to my understanding, on the D6, they did really well. They went 6-1, I think. They moved on, and then they were playing for like semis, I think. They actually did really well. Cool. And that was a 3-man line, which was Dan, Caden, Bryson, and
Dakota. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. They moved. They went into Ochos. Yeah, they were doing very well.
You send that link?
Yeah, I did send it to him. Yeah, he should have it in his Discord.
I told him. So
I can't
they did well. Let me see what because Mike texted me when they were playing. And see what he said, because he said I know he said Titan Green. They went 2-0, 0-2, 2-0, 2-0. So they went 3-1.
3-1.
So they went 6-2, and he said they're moving on. They're through, and then they went tiebreakers. So they had a lot better turnout of events than they did last time. Because last time they had a bad showing for 3-man wise. They had a bad showing, and considering Caden is very new to the sport. Yeah. Dan is very new. Dakota is very new. Only person has a little bit of experience really on that team is Bryce, and he's brand new to that team till like 3 weeks ago. So he's a snake kid that was playing with him.
Yeah.
So
I remember the last one. Mike pulled me off the side, and he was like, "Can you help them? Like give them?" And I'm like, "I can try." I was like, 3-man plays way different than 5-man. I was like, so the things that I'm having people do,
he should be joining.
Probably not going to work for them. I was like, but let's give it a shot. And I forget which group of them it was because they had a lot more teams then.
They had 2 3-man teams last time.
And I think it was the team Avery and Dylan were playing with. and they finally started winning things. I'm like, well, y'all just keep doing that until someone stops you, because 3-man's a completely different ball game. There's not much.
3-man, if you shoot one guy on the break on 3-man, it's basically game over.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
And that's what I kept telling them. I was like, y'all kill someone, I was like, just get down the field. Like, even if the second guy dies, you can probably kill another one of them while they're teeing up on your second guy or your third guy coming down the field, like making himself a threat. But I still haven't seen him join in yet.
Oh, no.
What's up, guys? You hear me?
Yeah.
You're good.
So we have Matt Strohmeyer. We've had him on a guest here before. Yeah, you guys played D4, correct?
Yeah.
And you guys took second place, third place?
Second place.
Second place. Tell us about the event, Matt. I know we're throwing you right in on the spot.
It was good, man. Was first off, we were worried that we weren't gonna be able to play the event because of fucking weather all weekend. Saturday,
the hurricane was gonna be kind of sketchy.
Yeah, Saturday's kind of rough. We actually had just a couple of our guys finally make it home after driving through where it made landfall this afternoon.
Yikes.
Yeah. But no, played the event. We're the only roster in D4 with 6 guys. We had 2 guys that couldn't make it. One tried to fly down, and his flights got canceled because of the storm. And another one came down with the COVID.
Nice.
So he stayed back. So
I should have took you up on the offer. Stayed. I would have got you guys first place.
Oh,
there we go.
He's like, you want to play tomorrow? I'm like, the problem is I had Jamie and Dan with me in the truck.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, kind of can't. Like I got extra people in the truck.
It was kind of weird seeing you guys all talk about being home on Saturday. Like, I got home kind of late Saturday night, and then it was like I looked in the group chat. I'm like, everybody's home. Like, that's weird.
we got home like 2:30 as well.
Yeah.
Because Saturday finished late as fuck too.
I guess so many teams. So tell us about your day, Matt. Like, first team you played was the American Association of Retired Paintball Players,
which is actually really funny. I was telling Wes this a little bit ago. So we're playing that game, and it's like the first or second point, and like I'm snapping with this kid. I was playing back Doritos, which I didn't practice at all because that was the fill that we needed because we didn't have our guys.
Yeah.
Playing the back Doritos, and I'm snapping with this kid trying to contain the Doritos. I'm like, man, this kid's actually giving me like going at it. And I was like, because we played them the first MVPS when we took the third.
Yeah.
And like we smashed them in like 4 minutes. I was like, okay, like something's up here. And I looked and I saw it was one of there's an older guy that plays with Afterlife.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're third in the series right now. And I looked and I saw him. And I heard someone yell his name. And then I like looked at their snake side, and their snake side was the same guys that play for Afterlife. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, we came back in the pits and we were talking about it. We're like, hey man, they're like, these guys are better than we thought, because we thought we were gonna have like a kind of a kosher game. Fucking yeah. We're like, hey, we'll all figure out our spots. We've got the 6 guys. We'll figure out what we need to do. Everyone's got like a little bit of a buffer. And then we're going at it, and we came out with a 2-1 on it, and we shook their hands. And it was literally the entire Afterlife roster with one AARP guy.
That is perfect. Funny.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then, so like, that, and to be honest, it actually helped.
Yeah.
We're expecting an easy game, but to have like be tested that early,
Yeah, 2-1. So I'm assuming time right now, obviously.
Yeah.
So you went the full. Yeah, that's fucking bananas for 3 full points. Then next you played Helen Keller's dodgeball squad. How'd that go? Did everybody see everything pretty good, or?
Yeah. We played,
I shouldn't do that because my girlfriend watches these and she raises guide dog puppies for blind people. So that's really fucked up. But go ahead and continue.
God damn
it. We know a couple of guys on the team, and they're good spirits about everything.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. We were just doing our thing. Nathan was making it into Snake 3 pretty much off the break. They just told me to go sit in that fucking D-side Aztec and shoot 8 pods containing Dorito side and play it out. The last point was sketchy. The score could have been 3-2 because they had electronic issues. So they were going off of a buzzer, or they were going off a whistle. And so the head ref on the side would like tell you right before the game started. But sometimes you were going off like you would go off a buzzer 2 points, and then you go off a whistle 1 point, and then buzzer like 3 points, and so and whenever they would say like, hey man, we're going off of the whistle, the ref would like 10 seconds, and you'd be sitting there for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, like fuck.
He's probably not even counting. He's just gonna like, I'm gonna wait a minute.
Well, we're all thinking like he's waiting for like the buzzer to go off too, and forgets that he's like, oh, I gotta call the game. And so the buzzer went off behind us when our guys were counting 10 seconds in their head. And so two of our guys shot downfield. It was 3-1 at this point. Two of our guys shot downfield. So I pulled those players. And so Cyrus jumped off the box too. And he's like, we all expected a recount and us just to start a 3-on-5.
Yeah.
Well, 2 seconds later, Cyrus is just standing there next to the home, and the ref blows the whistle. So we started a 2-on-5 with like 14 seconds left, because Dylan Beebe plays on that squad, which I've known him for like way back when we played at CFPSs and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're asking him, it's like, hey man, it's 3-1, 14 seconds left. Are we gonna run it? He's like, yeah, fuck it, run it. Line up on the box. Next thing you know, we start with the 2-on-5. I'm like sitting there in the home, and we have Nathan tries to dive over the snake, doesn't make it. So they're running down the field. I shoot one guy, like the one guy in the center that was running straight towards us. And then they had Dylan Beebe. He missed the buzzer by like a minute or like a second.
Man.
So like luckily we came out with the 3-1 because we needed a fucking point margin.
Yeah. Well, speaking of point margin, looks like y'all kind of rolled through the Bandits at 4-0, right?
Yeah.
Anything crazy happened there? Just a hot 4-0 for you guys?
They started with 6 guys 1 point, and it took 40 seconds into the point for the refs to like count it. And we're like, I was sitting at that point, and we're like watching the head ref. He like walks over to their side, and he's like counting the players off. And then he's like, hey, call a point. And then so he calls a point, and he grabs all the players like close to their pit, and he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's like, point goes to Rage. And then that was it. That was like the third point of the game.
That's fucking funny. I wonder if that was just a miscommunication on them coming out of the pits, or if they were like.
The point before that, they only had like 3 or 4 guys walking out of the pits, and at 10 seconds, they had their third guy, like the third or fourth guy running towards the box. And they paused the countdown for 10 seconds and let them tag up on the box. And we were pissed. We're like, dude, like 2 of them aren't going to make it. We'll be fine. It's going to be 3-on-5, you know?
And our teams can never get that kind of luck.
Yeah. No. And they paused it, and we're like screaming on the box. I was like, how are y'all going to pause it? Like, you cannot pause that 10-second countdown.
That's fucking funny.
So.
Yeah, and then so you drew your 4th match in prelims to Savage Black, Orlando Savage Black, 1-1. Obviously, it went the whole fucking time. 1-1.
Yeah.
What happened there? Something had happened.
The first point was a grinder. I believe they took it. Like we think it was like a 5 or 6 minute point.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then the second point, it was another grinder. It was like 3 or 4 minutes in, and I was alive in the D corner, which is that can. And then we had 2 on the snake side. It was Nathan and Shane on the snake side. We lost our middle, and we lost our front Dorito guy. And it was like a 3-on-3 at that point. And some dude tried to run down our snake side. And Shane came out on the wire because he was playing we call it the Cobra. It was the snake side cake that actually held
ice.
The snake.
Yeah, ice for us.
Yeah, he actually held the cake, or like the snake tape. And Shane roasted this dude. And the guy kept coming, and he shot Shane in the side of the head when Shane went to go like head check into the inside. And Shane like was screaming over there and was like losing it. He's like, that's a major. Like, he was shot way before. And so the head ref was on that side because they had the snake side on the scorecard, or like the scoreboard side. The head ref was on that side. He throws a major for them and a minor for us because Shane was yelling after he was out. And so Nathan, at that point, he hopped the beam and ran over to like the snake side brick. And I see him over there, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And like this ref is like they went to assess the penalty on us first. So they went to go after Nathan because Nathan hopped that beam and went to the brick.
Yeah.
And so he's like talking to Nathan and he's like, hey, go pull all the bodies on the other side. And I'm sitting there in the can. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I see Nathan, like this ref and Nathan are having like a full blown conversation out there. And then the head ref goes, hey, call the game. That's it. No point. And I was like, okay.
So that's the one you guys had to go back and ask Brandon Blue to pull up the camera footage of, right?
Yes. And it took him like 30 minutes to get this point figured out.
Good grief.
Because we had Brandon Blue actually doing the raw footage for our whole event.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a whole video coming out of everything, the start to finish for our event, which is actually pretty cool since everything happened the way it went down. And they said there was no bodies alive on either side. It's gonna be a no point. You're gonna have 2-3 minutes left. That's gonna be it. We're like, no, like I was like sitting there. I had one of the refs on me in the corner too. Like he was just sitting there right behind me the entire time. And Brandon Blue was like, hey man, like they had a body in the corner still. Like they had a minor. You pulled the two.
Just to get the ref to understand.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah. And so luckily they called it and they're like, hey, you might have to run out there and just go to the corner and then just run to the box and like tap the buzzer. They're like, nah, we'll just do like a 10-second runoff, give y'all a point, and then it'll be 1-1. And so we just went there and we thought they only took the top two out of every bracket. So we're just gonna, play it safe, just go for the tie, just make sure that we secured our bracket. But we still, because we're like, there's no shot we got the bye. But they take the top 4 and give them a bye. So it still worked out for us, easy enough.
Yeah. So yeah, that puts you out of prelims, obviously. Moving on to quarters, y'all play Blackout. Looks like y'all gave them a hot 4-0. Anything crazy?
Nothing.
Just kind of rolled through it.
Nothing, man. They tried to push an issue on the snake side. We had Cyrus. Cyrus played out of his mind this event.
Yeah.
He was running up to the D side brick off break and then locking
cross
and shooting the snake side. Like they would pop up in the snake 3 and he just wait for him and just fucking snap him out.
Hell yeah.
So he was doing that. Then they just had no answer for that. They had no answer. They couldn't push on the D side. They would not come out past the 200. And then Kyle E and I just held the D side down, and Nathan and Cyrus did pretty much everything.
That makes it easy. If he's killing someone off the break, damn near every point.
Oh yeah, I was just sitting that we call it the fire over there, the D side Aztec. Okay. Sitting there, and they're like, "Hey, you stop the 200," and then they just start rolling up the D side, and then you bait them out, and just go out there with 8 pods, you shoot the gun, look easy,
Heck yeah. So that was a 4-0, and then you played Notorious Mafia. Again, looks like this was a fucking long one, a 2-1. So y'all let time expire, not let time expire, but time expired in that one as well. Like anything wild or just long points?
That one got pretty crazy. So we had the 2 long points in the beginning, and they ran out of paint on their backs. So it actually came down to a 4-on-2.
Oh wow.
Against us, and they ran and they got into our snake corner, and we had the 300 and the 200, which is the 2 big Doritos on that side. And Cyrus was playing the wire and he was in the 300, and Kyle E was playing. He was like looking at this guy because he ran into our snake corner, and this guy must have ran out of paint because he went to go tap the buzzer. He was like 3 or 4 feet off it. He was like right behind our home, and Kyle E shot him. I was like, thank God, man. It was like 50 seconds left when he did that. And then Cyrus comes out and he shoots. They have a guy kind of run through the center. Cyrus comes over, shoots him, and then comes back and shoots another guy running down the D side tape. And at this point, it's 20 seconds left, and they killed everyone. And they had no clue. And like we had the point 1 right there, and they let the time expire.
Yep.
I was like, oh my God. And so we went into the overtime point. We sent Nathan.
You guys beat them pretty easy in the overtime point. I watched.
Yeah, we won 5 up.
Yeah.
Nathan took the 50 snake off break, which I think that's the fastest I've ever seen that guy move.
Who did that? You said
Nathan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is wild with that. And then so Nathan made the 50 snake off break, and they had no clue he was in there, in which he didn't. The only key kill he got was a 300. They filled the 300, and he waited for him to pull out and try to shoot on the inside, and shot him with like the first like couple balls that came out. But Cyrus went up to the danger, which is the D side wedge, and then into the trump. And he managed to shoot out, I think, both their snake flares at that point. So they filled the snake 3, tried to come up, shot him out, and then they filled it again and then shot him the same way. And then that one was pretty easy. I mean, we won it in like 3 minutes, 5 bodies up.
Yeah. That's all. So now you're playing for first and second against Dynamic. So what happened there? Is this where the big excitement came, or?
Dynamic, funny enough, we shared our pit with them pretty much all day.
Yeah, they kind of had their game plan figured out.
So we're I would say it's a good game, and definitely they played it. I would say they were a better team. Like, they did play it well.
Yeah.
You know, they did have they shot Nathan off break twice. So that was a key issue for us. So the first point they shot Nathan off break trying to fill the snake 1. And then so we're without our like heavy snake side, because typically he would either go in and play the first wing of the snake 1 and shoot cross and help me contain D side. So we only had my gun and his gun shooting D side, and everyone else was kind of Kyle E was kind of a floater. He would kind of shoot wherever, but we had our back snake and Cyrus trying to contain that snake. And then once Nathan felt comfortable, he would try to get up the S3. And of course, S3 kind of has more shots to block, like the 200 and 300 gaps and stuff like that. And so they shot him out twice, which was, you know, good for them. I know they had like a home shooter. They kind of knew that he was our fast guy. He was the body that we could risk going out to the snake side. So they won the first point. They shot Nathan out, and we lost bodies here and there. They picked us apart. Second point, I think they won 5 up, and I think the second point we won 4 up. So we went back to back, but at this point in the match, like, we couldn't see anything. Like,
it was pitch black. Almost.
It was pitch black, and we're wearing bright blue jerseys. They're wearing black jerseys. Like, so
yeah, that kind of stinks.
So the third point in the match, they shot Nathan out again. And then our communication kind of broke down a little bit. I don't know. I know my voice was kind of like, they were saying they couldn't hear me across field. We couldn't hear Kyle E and I couldn't hear them across field. So we don't know, like, but in the video we can hear people talking. Like, we went back and watched it, kind of figured it out.
At least people were talking. Like, it makes it a little better. You know what I mean? At least people were saying what they saw. Yeah.
So Kyle and I, we were talking like, hey man, I don't know what's on snake side. We don't know what's on D side. And
fuck playing at night.
Yeah. But
you guys are old spanking with the black jerseys and the fucking pitch black night. They can
probably dark purple ball too.
Oh yeah. You can't see any of that. Yeah.
So I mean, the only thing I had there was that at like a minute left, Kyle and I, because the scoreboard's spread as hell. Like, we saw that I was in we call it the ice, which is the D corner, and he was in the 200. I was like, Kyle, we gotta go. And at that point, Kyle like came out on the wire and he snapped out the guy that was in like the 300. He like shot him out, and it was a 3-on-4 at that point. But their D side was blown. I think the furthest they had was the D side wedge. And so I came up behind him. I forced him in the 300, and I got into the 200, and we conceded. It was a 2-1. We had 3 bodies up. We had Cyrus in the center. They were pushing down our snake pretty good, so our pick could see them coming down the snake. But Kyle and I was about to like turn the field because they had 3 bodies towards snake side with only the D side wedge, and we had 3 bodies on the D side, and we could have just fucking. I was about to send Kyle E just to take off down the field to see if we can't just like slap the buzzer. I mean,
yeah.
So we conceded it, and we came down to 3-1 with like 57 seconds left. I mean, at that point, it's pretty
Can't come
much
back from that.
impossible. I mean, we went for it. I mean, I got shot.
You give it a try.
Yeah. We
Can't
sent
come back from that.
yeah.
It's game
I mean,
over. They can just sit back and run their guns.
Yeah, they couldn't see anything. Like, I mean, we didn't know who was where. I think the only kill we got on the last point was Kyle ran up and dove over into like the 300 or 400 off break. And he just so happened to see that there was a guy in the D side wedge, and he popped up and shot him out. And I took off running towards the center of the field, had no clue where they were at. Went to go shoot the D side wedge since we knew that was filled all the time, had no clue he died. Had roasted this ref that was laying down in the center of the field, and then ran through their back line and just got obliterated because they had 2 in the home, and then they just took the back 4 or 5
seconds. I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
It's time to roll your guns.
Yeah. No, man,
awesome.
they I mean, we watched them, and you pull up their scores. They played well too. They played well all day.
Well, obviously they're playing for first and second.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say here. I mean, you guys only dropped 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points all day. So, and I don't know what Dynamic did. Dynamic dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, you know what I mean? Both those teams played very well.
Yeah.
Then Dynamic didn't lose a match all day, and you guys just lost 1 match. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
You'd love to see it.
You do. That's your best 2 teams of the day. I mean, I didn't look at anybody else, but obviously, first and second place team, those teams deserve to be there. So congratulations to you guys, Matt.
That should have put you guys in first of the series because the Afterlife's dumbasses didn't sign up for the event.
Yeah, so we think we have first in the series. They haven't updated everything yet because they had like internet issues with all that shit going on this weekend.
Surprise.
But Shenanigans that had the series lead, they didn't make it out of prelims, and then another team like dropped really low. So we should have the series lead by like 6 or 7 points above Dynamic.
Yeah, if I knew we were as close as we were, I know we were in 8th, but we were in 8th only by like 11 points. Yeah. If I knew we were that close, we would just strapped up, play the second day as well, and then just went for the run. Yeah. Because a lot of those teams that were in the top 5 did not do well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you had Palm Beach Reckless, didn't even make it out of prelims. Shenanigans Gold didn't make it out of prelims.
Yeah. A lot of those guys got fucking beat on.
That's wild.
Yeah, there's some wild games happening this weekend, especially with we were watching the Murder Goons, which placed 5th at both of the previous events, play the Vipers, and we're sitting there with Dynamic. We're just kind of bullshitting, talking about everything, and we're like, dude, we're happy we're not playing right now because like that game was a lot of the games once they came down to like the quarters, they got into real grinders, and I don't think there was any major blowouts there.
That's awesome. Well, Matt, thank you. Yeah, it has you guys sitting in 4th place overall. So yeah, still missing one of the events. I was trying to pull that up. Yeah, we were.
It's gonna probably take a couple days.
Yeah, I mean, trying to run that all off Wi-Fi is pretty rough because I imagine they're shooting it from that rec department over there.
Well, they had another whole like soccer tournament there this weekend too, I think. Yeah. So they had like the other fields over there were like all filled up too. They had like the event parking going on over on that side too.
That's fucking bananas. Well, sirs, I think that worked out good. We're gonna go ahead and we'll leave my 3rd topic for another podcast. I'll make everyone sweat the book information.
Yep.
So, because Stro saved the day and was able to give us some D4 coverage.
Yep.
Thank you for hopping on, rundown. Matt. MVPS rundown. Yeah, anything else you wanted to say, dude?
No. I mean, definitely excited to see what happens. The last event, the points are doubled. See if we can't win these.
Oh shit! Really?
Yes. Last event, the points are doubled. See if we can't win the half off entry to next year.
Yeah. Well, hey, good luck to you guys. Good luck to any of the other teams.
Yeah. Look out for our guys making the All-Star game though.
Yeah, that'll be fucking dope too.
So we'll announce who we'll send here pretty soon, but probably be somebody that really deserves it,
Yeah.
That's awesome. Mr. Itel, you have anything else you want to cover?
Nope. Good.
You good?
Good.
You good? I guess that's what we got. That was our little MVPS recap. Stro saved the day. Yeah, thanks for listening, watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll see everyone at the CPSLs coming up here in about 2 weeks.
Yep.
Later, guys.
Bye. Bums.
Good job, Stro. You the man.
Your poop, Stro.